I've done $50 million worth of real estate transactions. I've flipped over 350 homes. In each deal I've done, I've never ever bought a property for what it's actually worth. I always buy it way below market value, and in this video, I'm breaking down the exact strategies I've used to find properties with massive profit potential. Properties that others completely miss. And if you stick around, I'm gonna show you my #1 hack to get your pipeline to explode overnight. By the end of this video, you're gonna know how to find and capitalize on undervalued properties like a pro. Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Kudlotz, aka Jeffrey Dollars, and I've flipped over 350 homes using 100% private lending and OPM, which is other people's money. Been doing it without spending a dime of my own. Now, the key to successful house flipping is always finding undervalued properties that you can buy at a discount before any of the work starts. So there's different types of underpriced and undervalued properties. You can look at foreclosures, you can look at distressed properties, there's vacant properties, and whatever property that you're looking at, the key to always uncover is that there has to be motivation and distress. Now, when you're dealing with a homeowner who has some sort of motivation or distress in this property, that is going to give you a higher likelihood of getting a discount on the property. Whether they're in some sort of financial situation, if they've got a tenant who has just been a disaster, or maybe they're going through a divorce, there has to be some sort of motivation for them to sell you their property at a discount. Now, I spoke about some of the benefits of buying undervalued properties at the beginning of this video, but one of the main benefits is that you face an insanely less amount of competition than other buyers, because you are not buying properties on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. That's basically the service where real estate agents go ahead and list all of their properties. If you're finding off-market deals and dealing with either sellers or property owners or even wholesalers directly, then you weed out 95% of the competition already. This means that you're not gonna have any bidding wars, and you're gonna have more negotiation leverage because you are dealing with the seller directly and you are able and willing to buy the property. You also have potential for better negotiating terms, which means you can have flexible payment options, or you can even customize your deal structures. You also have access to unique and undervalued properties because these are off-market deals and they are not going to be fixed up. Now let's look at exactly why off-market deals come at discounts. Well, there are going to be motivated sellers out there who are looking to unload these properties quickly to investors like you. This is exactly what to look for. And the #1 thing to look for is distress. You need to look for sellers who need quick cash. They need to be in situations that are leading to very urgent sales, like a job relocation, or if they're in high credit card debt or some sort of other debt, or maybe the property condition is beyond repair. Now, this provides a benefit to the buyer because they are able to get out of these situations quickly because they may need to uncover and pull that cash out in a quick sale. You can also run into sellers who are looking at facing foreclosure, and then you are able to buy that house out of pre-foreclosure so they avoid going through having that on their record, or they can avoid having some sort of other financial distress. So pre-foreclosure opportunities actually provide a very valuable way to find discounted properties, because this means that the homeowner has already been issued a notice of pre-foreclosure by their lender. Now, there's a short window of opportunity, and it varies state to state, in which you can buy this house out of pre-foreclosure, thus saving the homeowner from getting a foreclosure on their actual record. Now, when they sell it to you as the investor for quick cash, they are able to come out from underneath this terrible situation. Another benefit to sellers is that they may not have any marketing costs. They may not have the resources to fix up their property, and they may need to just sell it as is. They know they're not able to get top dollar because they can't put any money into the property, but that is one of the negotiating tactics that you have to learn, is that you can go in, buy this house as is, and provide them the quick cash in exchange for a discounted property. Now, it's important to understand the pre-foreclosure process, because at this point, the homeowner has been issued a pre-foreclosure notice by their lender. Now, it varies state to state, but usually you have a window of opportunity between 3 and 12 months to buy that house from the homeowner in exchange for a discount. Now, this benefits the seller because now they are able to get out of an official foreclosure proceeding, and they will avoid having that on their record. It's a benefit to you as the buyer because now you are able to buy a property at a discount that somebody was living in can, and usually it will be in better than worse condition. It's also a benefit to the seller to sell you at a discount if they lack the marketing costs or if they lack any type of fix-up costs for their house. Usually they don't have any more money to put into the house and they need to sell it as is, knowing they're not going to get top dollar for it. If they were to put it out on the MLS and everybody would be coming through and showing tours of it, they would not be able to get top dollar and they would need to still sell quickly. You can help them avoid all of this headache and having tours and everybody coming through their house if you are able to buy their house quickly for cash at a discount. The sellers are also saving on any type of agent commissions and listing fees, thus selling to you for a direct sale. The typical cost of listing a property can be anywhere from 10 to 15% once everything is said and done, so they are able to save on those costs selling at a discount. Okay, so now that we talked about all of the benefits and why it's so important to find discounted properties that are usually off market, let's go over some of the top methods that I use to find these undervalued discounted properties. The number one method that I use in my business to look at 300 to 400 deals each and every month is that I have a very strong network of wholesalers. Now, wholesalers are investors who can be individuals or they can be agencies who connect buyers and sellers. Now, what they do is that they strictly find off-market deals or some sort of distressed situation from a property owner directly, and then they will put that house under contract and then either assign their rights, marking it up usually for a fee to the contract to an investor, or they will double close, meaning they will close on the property from the homeowner and then they will turn around a few hours later and sell it to an investor like me. And the reason why this is my number one method is because wholesalers' number one job is to get properties under contract and then immediately either assign their rights to the contract or sell the property directly. So if you're ready for my number one hack on how to make your deal pipeline explode, go to Google right now or any type of search engine and type in any type of search term that a homeowner would be searching for when they want somebody to buy their house quickly and for cash. So this can be we buy houses, this can be we buy ugly houses, this can be sell my home quickly for cash. Any type of variation of those keywords, and the first 3 or 4 pages that pop up on the search result, call each one of those companies. These companies are going to be wholesale companies and you need to have a conversation with them saying, hey, I'm an investor, I'm looking to get on your exclusive buyers list. This is the type of criteria of house that I'm looking to purchase. Now this benefits wholesalers because they also want to grow their buyers list so that they can sell a house quickly when they get it under contract. This benefits you as the buyer, as the real estate investor, because now they are going to send you all of their deals that they get each and every month. Another way that you can find discounted properties is using free online websites such as Zillow or Redfin or Trulia.com. Now you use what's called a filtering technique and you search for keywords that indicate some sort of distress. Now these keywords can include must sell, this can include distressed, repairs needed, motivated seller, selling as is, handyman special, reduced price, damaged. You want to look for, again, some sort of motivation and distress that they're willing to sell to you at a discount. Another filtering technique is that you want to look for high DOM, which stands for days on markets. Look for anything that has been sitting for more than 60 days. This high days on market indicates that they have something wrong with the property. They're either priced too high and they could be willing to sell to you for a lower price. I've gotten so many deals just by calling the homeowner with a high day on market rate for their listing and offering them a low price in exchange for a quick close, because they know now that there is surety of close and that we will actually get their property sold. Another tip that is absolutely crucial when you're looking for discounted properties is you need to excel at networking. You need to be out there building relationships with real estate agents because they are in the business of real estate each and every day. They are naturally connected to buyers and sellers all of the time, and they will have their ears to the ground on exactly who's got a property and they need to sell it fast, and it may need some sort of fix up or it's in some sort of distress. It's also important to network with other real estate investors because you never know if they come across a deal that doesn't fit their criteria, but it may fit yours. Or they may have so much going on their plate right now, but they're going to help you out and pass the deal along, maybe in exchange for a small fee. Another highly effective way to find discounted properties properties is when you buy them at auction. Now, an auction is when the house has actually gone through the foreclosure process, it's been given back to the bank, and now the bank will sell it on the county courthouse steps in exchange for a quick closing. Now, there are some drawbacks to buying auction properties. You usually have to buy it as is. You're not usually allowed to walk through the property, and you buy all of the hair that comes with it. That means if there's any mechanics liens, if there's any unpaid taxes, if there's any type of cloudy title or there's issue with the title report, you buy everything that comes along with it. Now, auction properties are usually very high risk, but also high reward because you are able to buy them at such a discount. Now, I would advise against buying properties at the county courthouse steps before you get at least 20 to 30 deals under your belt, because you are not able to walk them. You are not able to see exactly what kind of condition the property is in. So until you get to that point, stick with wholesalers and the other methods that I mentioned previously. Now, there's some other strategies that you can find off market in undervalued properties not listed on the MLS. And the first one is called cold calling. Now, this is when you buy a list of property owners from a company and then you call them out of the blue asking if they would be willing to accept a cash offer for their house in exchange for a quick closing. Now, this is usually a targeted list that it can be out-of-state owners, it can be absentee owners, or even vacant property owners. This does take a lot of sales negotiation over the phone because you are calling them out of the blue asking to buy their property. It also has a timing issue because the timing just may not be right, or you can call a homeowner when they've just gone through a terrible situation and you are going to come in and save them from that by buying their house. Here are some of the lists that you can target to have an effective cold calling campaign. You can look at in and out of state absentee owners, vacant property owners, people who are going through pre-foreclosure, or people who are going through a divorce, because this usually leads to having to sell their house quickly and get on with their lives. Another method to use is direct mail. Now, this is when you conduct very targeted direct mail campaigns. You send them a postcard to motivated sellers expressing interest in buying their properties. Now, this is going to be the 3x5 postcards that you see in bright yellow that have "We buy houses for cash as is, quick close" on the postcard. This approach can be highly effective because it allows for a personalized connection with the potential sellers. You can say, "Hey John," or "Dear John, my name is Jeff and I really want to buy your house for cash at 123 Main Street." Now, there's companies out there that allow you to personalize these postcards because you do have to buy the list from them in order to use their services. But if you don't use their services, you can also just provide them with the list and they're still able to personalize it for you. So when the homeowner sees that postcard, it looks like you are speaking to them directly. Now, the next method you can use to get undervalued properties is driving for dollars. Now, this is exactly what it sounds. You pick a neighborhood that you want to operate in, and then you go around and drive and look for distressed properties. And this is what you want to look for when you're driving for dollars. You want to look for houses that have overgrown grass, weeds everywhere, the mailbox is full of mail, there's newspapers piling up on the front yard. Any type of house that looks like it has been neglected or nobody's lived there for quite a while. Get out and talk to all of the neighbors and see what you can find out actually about the house. They may have direct contact information for the seller, and then you can use that as a way to break down the barriers when you actually contact them directly. You can say, "Hey John, I talked to your neighbor Mark over there and he was saying that nobody's been living in the house for a year. Would you be interested in selling the house for cash?" I've gotten multiple deals just by getting out and talking to the neighbors because it alleviates a lot of the back office work necessary to find the homeowner, and you are able to find some sort of connection and build rapport with the seller directly, knowing that you talked to their neighbor already. Now that we talked about the most effective ways to find these discounted properties, the next step is to evaluate any type of potential deal. Just because you found it off market or just because you're dealing with the seller directly does not mean that it's going to be a deal. The next step is to do a sales sales comp and market analysis to determine whether or not the deal you have in front of you is actually a discounted property. Just because it's off market or just because you're dealing with the seller directly does not mean that you are actually buying at a discount. When you are doing a neighborhood and market analysis, look for areas already appreciating or if they're in the path of progress, meaning that there's development coming or home prices have steadily risen over the past year. I cannot stress this enough that location matters. Location, location, location. Do not buy houses where people do not want to go at night, or do not buy houses where they don't even want to go during the day. You want to buy the worst looking house in the best neighborhood. You don't want to buy the best looking house in the worst neighborhood because you could spend millions of dollars fixing it up. But if people don't feel safe there and they don't want to move there, they will never buy your house. Now, when you're doing a sales comp analysis, use the MLS, or you can use the free tools that I mentioned earlier in the video, like Zillow or Redfin. You can even use a real estate agent because they have MLS access and they will help you determine whether or not the deal that you are considering is actually discounted. Sales comps are going to be the best piece of data that you have to determine whether or not the deal you are actually looking at is discounted. So all of these methods that I've used in this video are the exact ones that I still use to this day to analyze over 300 to 400 off-market and discounted properties each and every month. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you guys found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insider tips on flipping houses. If you guys want my free profit calculator that calculates all of the costs on a house flip and how much profit you can actually make once you find it and are determining whether or not it's actually a discount, click on the link in the description below. It's completely free. It's going to level up your deal analysis game, I promise. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I will get back to you personally as fast as I can. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you on the next one.